You guys does anyone else continue to play Wordle? Because this was like a lost art, if you ask me. I used to play this New York Times Wordle every morning. Actually, me and my friends would all have like a group chat where we would just compete to see who could solve the Wordle in the least amount of tries. That stopped when we grew up, but I dabbled back into it right before I started recording this. So we're gonna see if I can get this Wordle for today. And that's how we're gonna start today's episode. The first line might be a controversial take, but I always just use A, E, I, O, and U. Get the vowels out of the way so you know what you're working with, right? So A, E, I, O, U. Enter. It has to be a word. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. Okay, so 5. We got to go for high vowel count here. So I'm gonna go with A, and I'm blanking on 5-letter words here. This is embarrassing. Reads. That's a good word. Reads. Reads. And absolutely nothing from that word. No R, no E, A, D, or S is. Okay, so let's try out. Let's try this again here. I like point. Okay, there's an I and an N somewhere in this word here. I-N. Next guess has to be B. No, it can't be. Jeez. What do we think it is here? N-I. K. Nope. What am I? That's horrible. Okay. I mean, this is why I stopped doing Wordle, because it gets to be impossible to do. And I'm not going to start this episode until I get this Wordle. I just can't think of any words right now. What about knife? And Knife. Like that. Absolutely did nothing. So let's see. BL. Nope. BIN. Bin. Binge. Oh, okay. So we have the worst strategy here. We have 2 letters going into the second to last entry here. And the 2 letters, I and N, horrible letters to have. Could be anything. I mean, I'm running out of letters here. Like, all of these aren't. L, or no, it has to start with like, maybe it starts with an I. No. Will. I mean, there's no other options of what this could be. I'm just going to have to start throwing shit at the fan and seeing what happens here. MIN? No. So it has to start with either an N or an I guess. I. No. It's not knife. I already tried knife. Coin. Coins. I don't. Oh, there's a C. Okay, so it starts with a C. This is our last attempt. This is our last attempt. And we have the first letter figured out. And we know that the last letter has to go in one of the last few spaces, obviously. So it's C blank blank I N. So it's C blank blank I N. C blank blank I N. So that's C blank blank I N. There's no letters that would fit in here. I N. Clin. All of these blank 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 I N. So, oh, no, wait, nope. Guys, I think I got it. I think I just solved it right there. I think the word we're looking for is cumin. 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 I'm a genius. You guys just witnessed it right here. Oh, okay, well, it didn't save that, but I am a genius. It's cumin. It only took me every try possible to get that, but oh well. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Now that we're done with our Wordle of the day, it is so hot in here. Can you guys see this? Like my forehead is sweating. I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but it looks like I just showered. All right, let's see. I didn't have anything on the agenda to really talk about today. Primarily because, I try to go into these episodes just with an open mind, and whatever happens, like I'll just talk about it like just on a whim. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. Yeah, I wish I had something juicy I could give you guys, but it's just until I get my feet set on what I'm actually doing, it might just be just shooting the shit for a whole hour, which is fine. I need the experience of getting comfortable. Now we've got the multiple views going, and so not only do you see me here, bang, but you also see me here, bang. And maybe in the future we'll have one like over here too, so then it'll be bang, bang, but also bang. Get 3 different profiles. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I was on. So here's a something that I could talk about. But I was on the phone with one of my buddies the other day, and we got to talking about like just random shit that like annoys us, even though it probably like shouldn't, because it's not a big deal. It's just like pet peeve type of stuff. And the one thing we talked about, the people who don't take like immediately, if you're a person that your first step after getting a haircut is not, I need to go home and take a shower and shower this shit off of me. If that's not you, that's foul. That is absolutely foul. If you are one of those people that can get a haircut and then proceed with the rest of your day and just totally not acknowledge the fact that you have tiny pieces of hair just all over your back, the back of your neck, your ears, down your shirt, how do you go about functioning after getting a haircut? Like you have, like for me personally, this is one of the things I was talking about, was that is like that, I think about that before I go to get my hair cut. Like that's one of the things that I have to plan out as far as, okay, if I want to go get a haircut, when am I going to do this? and when am I going to be able to come back home, take a shower? Because when I lock in for a haircut, if I go get like a haircut somewhere, I'm not just planning to go get a haircut. You got to plan when you go get this haircut. You got to plan what do you have to do after the haircut? Do you have time to come home, re-shower and because it's a whole process. It is a whole at least for me it is, because if I'm going to, normally what I'll do as far as like haircuts go is like for starters, I only will go get like a haircut from someone else, like professionally done or whatever you call it. I'll only go to the barber like once every couple of months if I'm feeling it. If I have like a special event or something that I need to go to, I'll go get my stuff done by a barber. But more often than not, in like the last year, what I've been doing, since I don't have like anything that I need to like be dressed up for, honestly, I literally just bought a pair of like hair clippers, and I just throw like a little number 2 guard on there, and then I just buzz my entire head from the comfort of my own bathroom. It makes it so much easier to just live off of that. But in the instances that I do go, say I have to go to like a funeral or not a funeral, like a wedding. Say I have to go to a wedding and I need to look spiffy, I'll go get a haircut from a barber. But before I even book a time to get that haircut done, again, I'm planning out, okay, what do I have to do still before this event? Is anything time consuming, or am I able to go get this haircut, come back, basically get ready all over again? Because if I'm going out to get a haircut, the first thing I do is I step in the shower and I shower. Because I don't want to be sitting in this chair and this girl be dicing my head up, making it look fresh, but like I stink. Like that can't happen. So immediately, first things first, I take a shower. Then I'll go to the appointment that I booked, take care of that for like half an hour, 45 minutes, however long, and then I'll leave, come back home, and then take another shower. This time, like, it's a double shampoo and a double conditioner. I get it. There's no purpose in that because like you don't reap the benefits of double shampooing or double conditioning. But for me, I stay in that shower until I can like run my hands through my hair and like around my neck and face. If there's any form of hair particles like left on my hands as I'm standing in the shower, it's another shampoo. Like I do not leave that shower until every single piece of like cut hair is off of my body. And so what a roundabout way to just, say if you don't do that, maybe not to the extent of what I do, but if you're not showering yourself after a haircut, then what kind of life are you living? Because I know that shit's itchy. I know you're just even going to and fro the barber, just in the car, just sitting in the car with like hair just in your shit. It's not a good feeling. So my question is to those people that, are able to function after a haircut without showering, how the fuck do you do it? And why? Why would you ever bring that upon yourself to do that? Because that sounds like absolute misery to me. But yeah, that was just one of the small topics that, I like to think about when I'm talking with my friends. And if that doesn't show you how interesting that I can be, then I don't know what does. Let's see here. Oh, but that also led me to look at, some. That's just one small kind of quote unquote unpopular. It's probably more popular than it is unpopular. But nonetheless, I decided to venture into Reddit, see what else, people are putting out in this world that's a wildly, that one isn't as wild of a hot take as I am explaining it to be, because I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with that. Unless you're a woman, then I don't know if the same rules apply. I would imagine so, but then again, like I don't know. But I was looking through Reddit and, looking at all these other unpopular quote unquote opinions that people have, and there's a lot that I do agree with, but there's also some that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why did you type this up and submit this? Let's see if we can find some. Reddit unpopular opinion here. Like this one. The first time seeing this. My husband believes running pizza underwater to cool it down is acceptable. Fuck you and your husband. Maybe not you. As long as you don't do it, you're fine. But your husband should be thrown in jail. You do not. Who puts pizza under running water to cool it down? She says pretty much what the title says. Not my opinion, but my husband's. In college, my husband and I would make oven pizzas, and he would run his slices under the water to cool it down faster. He says it didn't change the taste and was still good. That's disgusting. What do you mean it doesn't change the taste? Sure, maybe it tastes the same, but you're dealing with... I can only imagine that putting a piece of pizza under running water is like having a sponge underwater, and then you take a bite out of that sponge. You're just getting your mouth filled with water that has been soaked into the crust in the bread of a slice of pizza, mixed with the grease and cheese and whatever other toppings you have on that. That's an unpopular opinion, and I don't think that should be an opinion at all. I think this man needs to be thrown in jail, because that is foul to take pizza slices and put them under water. That's so gross. Let's see another one. This one just says, I'm sick to death of hearing about the USA. I couldn't care less about that country. Well, we know that person's not from the States here. Let's see. Vanilla is not plain. It is a flavor, and it's a damn good one too. Ooh, this one's tough. I will say though, like when I think of vanilla, I do think of plain. Like vanilla is plain, right? Like when you think of yogurt and you get like vanilla yogurt, that's just plain yogurt, right? Like, yeah, you can go out and get unflavored yogurt, but that's like sour cream. Like when we're talking about plain yogurt, I'm thinking of like vanilla. Or like when you go out for ice cream and you're like, I just want a plain ice cream cone. That's a vanilla ice cream cone, right? It is good. I wouldn't put it at my top though. Like I'll put vanilla above chocolate though, as far as like flavored things go. If we're talking about just plain chocolate, like a chocolate candy bar, I'm taking that. Let's see what else. I mean, these are fuck you if you record yourself giving things to homeless people. I can get behind that. Yeah, these like remember it like used to be like a trend a couple years ago that like if you go on YouTube, like the entire thing is just like all these people just like setting up cameras, like hidden cameras, or just blatant tripods, or just selfie sticks, and it's just them like talking to a camera like this, as if they're recording a video or on FaceTime with someone, and then they just go up to like homeless people and like give them like $5 or like a piece of pizza or something like that. And that's the entire video. Those people that do that, I don't have any like respect for them, because it's like, yeah, you're doing a nice thing, but you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Like this is like if you wanted to do something nice, do that, what you're doing. Go feed the homeless, go give things to the homeless people, yes, but don't advertise it. Cuz I mean, for me that just is like you only did this so that you could potentially like get a little bit of viewership out of it. Um which I'm sure is not all of them, but for the majority, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. Is just, hey, look at me. I'm gonna go give these homeless people $5, which that doesn't do shit for them. But yeah, come watch me get this reaction of this homeless person while I film them giving them something. Like it's just a horrible concept. So I do agree with that. It's not necessarily unpopular. Um, if exposing yourself to someone without consent is crime, sudden porn pop-up ads should be illegal. That's hilarious. Um, telling a guy to man up is the same as telling a woman to get back in the kitchen. First time hearing that thought, that's kind of I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, that is kind of true, not going to lie. Um, let's see. If I catch a baseball at an MLB game and you send your kid over, you're the asshole, not me. Depends. Depends. Like if I'm at a game and if I catch, I mean, that's like, I think that's on every dude's bucket list, is to just be at the ballpark with your glove. You always bring your glove. At least when you were a kid, you would always bring your glove, no matter where you sat. Like I remember going as a kid and sitting just so far up in the stands, like I'm talking third level, and I would always bring my glove for the off chance that some ball comes to me. First of all, not even in home run territory, so I can count that out. The only thing I could maybe rely on is like a foul ball that just gets sent 300 feet in the air, because otherwise it's not touching the third story. But either way, like that is a moment that I think every guy has at least. I'm just going to say that, of catching like a major league home run ball. And if I was in a situation that I was able to do that, and some kid I see like walks 2 sections over to come ask if he can have it, fuck that kid. He's not getting shit. Like, bring your own glove, get taller, and make your own plays. Like, don't come to me and try to reap the rewards that I benefited from off of my hard work. And yeah, it's not going to happen. But if the story was, okay, I'm sitting next to a little kid and I can see him, he's little, he's not going to catch shit. But if I catch it like right in front of him and he's like sitting next to me, and he has been sitting next to me the whole time, I mean, yeah, you have to, because at that point they're going to throw it on the Jumbotron in the big screen, and everyone's going to see you catch it and not acknowledge this little kid sitting next to me. So for those reasons, out of just straight reluctancy to be shamed by the public at the ballpark, I would have to give that ball up to that kid. And that's a situation that I'm okay doing that, because I'm avoiding public shame of not doing it. But again, if this kid is, sprinting towards me from section D and I'm sitting in section A, that kid's I'm just gonna take his head, I'm gonna turn him the other way and send him back. He's not getting shit from me. Like, wrong section, wrong crowd, get out of here. Here we go. Coffee smells 100 times better than it tastes. That's a hot take as well. I mean, coffee does smell good, but it also does it smell better than it tastes? Does coffee smell better than it tastes? When I drink coffee, like it's just straight black coffee. So like in that sense, yeah, it does smell way better than it tastes. But then you start talking about like all these little coffee drink things that you can get from like a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts or a Dutch Bros. And yeah, clearly if you add like 16 ounces of straight sugar and milk to coffee, it's going to taste way better. But if you were just talking about just an Americano, yeah, I would say I do agree. It does smell better than just, plain black coffee. Um, Being too cold is way better than being too warm. This one is a toss up, and it's situational. You know what I mean? Um, if I am, as far as like, okay, I do agree with this statement. If we're talking about like sleeping temperatures, yes, it needs to be fucking freezing for me to fall asleep, and it will always be like that. When I go to sleep, first of all, my windows have to be open, no matter what day of the year it is. My windows are going to be open. Um, Even during snow, like during the winter when it snows, my window is open for me to sleep. It has to be at least like 50 degrees in my bedroom for my body to even consider like falling asleep, and then to stay asleep it needs to stay at that temperature. um on the reverse, I can't think of a worse hell than trying to fall asleep when it is hot, like when you are getting clammy under the sheets trying to fall asleep and your forehead is like kind of beating in sweat. That's the worst thing ever. But if we're talking outside of like sleeping, if we're talking about just a day to day, like if I stepped outside, would I rather it be too hot or too cold? Then I'll flip it. Then I would much rather be 1,000 degrees outside than negative 1,000 degrees outside. Being out in the cold weather is horrible. I don't enjoy it at all. But being out in like the hot sunshine, like that, I can live with. Just as long as, when I'm ready to go to bed, temperature drops like 60 degrees and then it gets to be like 54 degrees, then I can live with that. I literally, sometimes in the morning here, because I'll have my window open when I sleep, and I like shut my heat vent so like no air, no hot air or no cold air gets blown into it's just the room and whatever outside temperature it is. But some mornings, like my roommate he'll get up and get ready for work, and we've come out at like 6 a.m. and check the thermostat. It is literally like we'll wake up and the lowest I've ever seen it was 54 degrees. It's been 54 degrees when we wake up, which is freezing. I get that. But yeah, it's been like anywhere from like 54 to like 62 every morning that we wake up. And he's the same exact way too. He has like this big ass swamp like cooler air conditioning thing that he just turns on, and it literally just sits next to his bed and blasts him with like freezing air, which is definitely an upgrade. But yeah, anyone that can sleep in hot temperatures, like that baffles me. That's kind of impressive, to be honest with you. I literally have to sleep with the windows open. It has to be freezing cold, and I only use, like, people have comforters and stuff. I couldn't tell you the last time I used a comforter. I only need like the flat sheet and like one supplementary blanket. For me, it's like this big black, that was stupid. This like black blanket. It's not like a heavy blanket. It's like just a supplementary blanket. But yeah, that's all I need. Like, I don't fuck with like comforters, like stuff like that. Nothing. And then when I actually go to sleep, like I don't even use my pillows. My pillows, like normally 9 times out of 10 they are used to like insulate the other side that isn't next to the window so that all the cold air just gets trapped on one side of the pillows that I'm laying on, if that makes sense. So I'll literally just lay on one side of the bed, put the pillows opposite side of the bed that the window is at, and then it creates like this very cold like sleeping space. I realize as I'm saying this makes me sound like a lunatic, but oh well. I'm also one of those people that sleeps on my stomach with no pillow. Like, I don't use pillows for what they're used for. I use pillows just for that. And then when I sleep, it's just me laying flat on my stomach. My head is like tilted. So my ear, either ear, depending on how I'm feeling, either ear is touching the mattress. My stomach and my chest are flat against the mattress. And then I'll bring like my leg, I'll bring it up like as high up as I can. I don't know if anyone else does this, but that's like, for me, that's the optimal sleeping position to have, because, you know, it just feels either that or like I'm also, if I'm not in that position, then I'm also just flat on my back, again, no pillow, but then I'll have my hand behind my head, so my elbow's like this, and then as a guy, I don't know why it has to be this way, but it does. But I'll have this hand here, and then I'll tuck my other hand just in my like waistband, like right above the goodies. Like I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. I literally will just have my hand tucked into my waistband, just resting there, like right on my stomach, but it has to be like tucked into, you know, whatever, whether that's like my sweats, which I can't remember the last time I wore sweats to bed. More often than not, it's just like my boxers. I just put the hand in the elastic of the boxers and I just let it rest there. The other hand goes up top and then I just pass out. But yeah, I think that's an ideal sleeping position, personally. Let's see, what other unpopular opinions does Reddit have? I'm trying to get comfortable. Most guys who are in the friend zone aren't even in the friend zone. They're in the, oh God, not this fucker again zone. I feel like that's a lot, like, that's essentially what the friend zone is. Very, like, at least for me, very rarely do I come across someone that's in the friend zone that's actually, like, in a zone of being just friends. More often than not, what I've seen is just people that can't give it up. Like, you know? Like, people that were shot down, but for whatever reason, they believe that it will happen, and so they just continue to make the pursuit, which, I mean, kudos to you for having, you know, the tenacity to be able to do that and endure, you know, the hardships of being in the friend zone. But more often than not, I feel like it is that, oh God, like, this guy won't give it up, friend zone kind of guy, you know what I mean? Or girl. I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure guys friend zone girls, but not nearly as much as girls friend zoning guys. But then again, we're talking about relationship advice with someone that is currently not in that situation. So take that as you will. The best part of the yogurt is not the yogurt itself, but it's when it has that wonderful liquid floating on top. Drinking that is much better than the actual yogurt. That's fucking psychotic. That's psychotic. You want to drink the yogurt jizz? That's what I call it. Like when you peel back that aluminum, you know, foil on the top, and it's like you look at the yogurt and it looks like, you know, when like mud like dries up and it starts to crack. That's what the top of the yogurt looks like. And then it just has like a an off-colored yellow jizzy substance just floating on the top layer. That apparently is the best part to this person. To the 99.9% of the rest of us, we can all agree that that's fucking psychotic, right? Or is that just me? Because that's foul. I've never heard of someone enjoying. Like, I always just drain that out. Like, that's gross. That's so foul. That definitely is the I'm gonna have a stroke. That definitely is an unpopular opinion that I can't get behind. Let's see. The night before a day off work is way better than the actual day off. This is true. This is very true because at least for me, like, yeah, like the night, so like my last work day, I'm way more excited for the work day to be done and for me to be done with work for the week, as in for the rest of that night. Like, after I clock out, like, that's it. I'm done for the entire weekend. I'm more excited at that point in time than I am the next morning when I wake up and I don't have to go into work. If that makes sense. Like, the idea of maybe it's worded wrong. Maybe it should be the idea of having the day off is better than the actual day off. Because I can get behind that, because I'll daydream about having the day off. Which more often than not, like, it's way more enjoyable, because then when the day off actually comes, what I had planned to do, I'll do in like 2 hours, and then I have an entire day of doing nothing because I didn't plan anything else. So then it kind of gets boring and mundane, and then by 5 o'clock in the afternoon on your day off, you have to start prepping, doing laundry, making meals, getting back in the mindset of going back to work. So yeah, day off, the night before a day off, I would agree is way better than the actual day off, depending on, the level of plan going into your day off. If you have a big plans, then yeah, obviously that day off is going to be way more exciting. But if it's just another weekend, I would be willing to bet that it's more interesting and more fun having that hard stop, and then the rest of the night you have nothing to do, and the next day you have nothing to do. Like, that's the best position to be in. Let's see here. Adults shouldn't be telling kids that high school will be the best years of their lives. I don't know who's saying this to kids. But yeah, no, this is for sure. Like, if I can't imagine being in, like, if I take myself and put myself back in high school mentally right now, I can't imagine what my life would look like if those were the best years of my life. Especially on like a physical level. If those were the best years of my life, then this life is it's not going up from here. Clearly. But back when I was in high school, I was probably like 5'3", and that didn't happen until sophomore year. Didn't hit 5 foot until sophomore year. And soaking wet, probably 115, 120. I had for a period of time, I did have the typical, like, standard Asian haircut. Just let it grow out and it would be flat and it would just come down all around. And then in high school, I started experimenting with, different hairstyles, as one does. And honestly, high school was probably the worst time for me, as far as, like, physical appearance goes. Because I was walking around for most of my high school career looking like what people would say would be a paintbrush. I have multiple photos of that. If I can find those, I'll throw them in here because you'll get why people used to call me a paintbrush in high school. It's because I mean that was the last day I ever gave money to a Great Clips establishment, and I will never look back. Um, Actually, I am gonna find those photos because it was horrible, especially my senior yearbook photos, dude. They were garbage. I literally like go into this Great Clips thinking I'm getting a haircut that's gonna look good for my yearbook photo, yada yada yada, my senior pictures. And I go in there, I'm like, yo, give me do this, and it's just a lady in there, and I think Great Clips just has a standard for like haircuts. They don't go above and beyond. They just have a set kind of stencil, and they just follow that because that's what I got. And I ended up walking out with like a 0 on both sides all the way around my head, and then on the top she just left like 5 inches. I'm not 4 to 5 inches of just hair, and Asian hair is just straight, right? So she like gelled it up, and so it was literally like 4 to 5 inches of just hair just sticking up. It looked literally like a paintbrush, which is why, I mean, my ass was a walking meme in high school because of it. And I remember there was like there at one point there was like in Snapchat you can make stickers, right? Someone had taken my senior yearbook photo, and they had like made a sticker out of my face, and you could see like my haircut, and then they put that sticker on the end of a paintbrush, and that shit got sifted throughout the entire school. It was hilarious, dude. And at the time, I just would consider myself a trendsetter, not realizing, that a few years later I would look back at these pictures and actually go, what the fuck was I doing? What was wrong with me? But it built character, I believe. I believe it built character because not a lot of people can walk around with a horrible haircut. That would be a demise of many individuals in today's society, but not for this guy. This guy is a trooper, and I have yet to experience something that I can't, like pull off. Whether that's a bad haircut or a bad outfit or a bad attitude, I can pull everything off. Especially narcissism. I can pull that off really well. But yeah, no, I'll try to find those and throw those in there because if anyone listening, if you ever experience time with me, you know that I've gone through my fair share of odd haircuts. I don't know. That's just, some people like to customize cars and customize, computers, stuff like this. I like to customize myself, see what I can do, and see how far I can push myself, But yeah, that was a horrible haircut. And there was also like a time that I decided to get highlights in my hair, which that didn't work either because my hair it's black. And so I went to this hair salon studio thing, which first of all, y'all ladies that go to these hair studios, y'all got it good. Got it real good. My first time stepping into a hair studio was magical. Mainly because, when you walk into a barber shop, it's pretty cut and dry about what you can expect. You go in, you're like, yo, I need a haircut. Y'all take walk-ins. What's your availability look like? They're like, yeah, but you got to wait like 15, 20 minutes. So then you just sit down in a chair next to some other random guy who's been there for half an hour. Then they call you up. You sit in the chair. You do a little bit of small talk as far as what you want. But at the end of the day, the barber is just going to do what he wants, right? And then during the process of getting your hair cut, unless you have like one of these like super bubbly barbers that just doesn't shut up, which doesn't happen very often, it's a pretty chill experience of you just sitting there being quiet, minding your own, letting them do their own thing. And that's pretty much it. They finish, they take the cape off, you pay, and you're done. But at hair studios, the first time I went to one of those, bro, I walk in, I open the door, and I am greeted by this beautiful receptionist. I don't remember her name, but take my word for it, she was beautiful. And she's like, "What can I do for you today?" And I'm like, "Okay, here's the situation. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm looking to get this done. I want to look like this with that." And then she's just like, "Okay, I have, 3 people available, Jessica, Jenny, and Jennifer. All have openings. Like, which one would you prefer?" They gave me options. And then I inevitably pick one of them, and I sit down in her chair. She's also equally as beautiful. Everyone in a hair studio be looking beautiful. And it looks so aesthetic too. So I sit down in this chair, and the whole experience, she's like, what are we doing? What do you want to look like? Do you have, things that inspired you for your look? Yada, yada, yada. The overall experience of a hair studio is great. That's my point. But the one time I went, I tried to get highlights. I wanted to get like some blonde highlights. I don't know. It's like platinum blonde highlights. And just because, I wanted to look like a K-pop star or something like that. But yeah, she starts like doing the thing where she like pulls your hair out of like a tiny hole in a cap and then starts like brushing that stuff on it. Well, it turned my hair orange because it's so black. And obviously, like, if I wanted it, I didn't know this at the time, but if I wanted it to get where I wanted it to be, they would have to bleach it so many times, which would inevitably just kill my hair, which, trust me, it killed my hair either way. But, this one, it just turned it orange. It wasn't like Oompa Loompa orange, but it was orange enough to be like, oh, that's not blonde, that's orange. And she was like, yeah, if you want, like, we could keep going, but like, it's just going to kill your hair. And you're not going to get that full look. So I just decided to be like, okay, I'll just walk out with whatever we have on top of my head right now. So yeah, there was a period of time I was walking around with like orange highlights in my hair. Last year in like November, I told you guys, I normally, if I don't have an event or something and I need a haircut, I'll just take my clippers and I'll just buzz my head at like a number 2 all the way around. Well, like sometime late last year, I was going to do that and I thought I had the number 2 guard on. Turns out I just didn't, just fucked up, and I had no guard on the clippers. So I just looked in the mirror, realized no guard, and so I just had a strip of bald. Like, it took all my hair off. Like, it was just like the top of my head was just there. And so I had to commit, obviously, because you can't come back from that. So yeah, I just took the entire clipper and I just all across my head. Next thing I know, I'm looking in the mirror and I look like a fucking egg, dude. An egg. Like, it was shiny. Like, it was so funny to look at though. But yeah, no, I've had my fair share of haircuts. And again, that's a big ass fly. That is a huge fly. I don't know if the cameras picked that up. That was a big ass fly. It's about the size of a quarter. But like I said, like, I think, having like bad haircuts and even bad fashion choices, dude. I used to think I was the most fashionable guy out there. I look back and I'm like, dude, I look like a piece of shit. Like, in middle school, it was always like the Nike Elites with cargo shorts and some Abercrombie and Fitch like t-shirt and Vans, like low top Vans. That was considered fashionable back then. And then in high school, I started, breaking away from the norm and started experimenting with, I don't know why, but I would show up to school wearing like button down, like collared shirts with khakis and like a sweater on top. I would dress as if I was going, like, attending a fucking private school, which couldn't be further from the truth. Like, this was just as public as it gets. But yeah, I would wear like button down. Some days I would mix it up. I I would like to say I was the leading front runner of fashion in my high school. Like those long t-shirts, like you guys remember those that would like scoop in the back and they were like PacSun branded long tees. I remember breaking those out until I realized how big of an idiot I look like because I was 5'2", 5'3", wearing a t-shirt that came down to the back of my knees. Um, yeah, that was humbling. But again, I think all of these experiences kind of add up, and they helped. I'm like Play-Doh. Like it just shaped me into what you see today, which is, I mean, I think it's great. I think what you see here today is exactly what everyone needs. Um, yeah, just let me know if you guys have ever had a horrible haircut, and if yours was as bad as mine. Like I said, when I find these photos, I'll throw them in here because I think everyone deserves to see what I'm talking about. It's almost one of those things that you won't believe it until you actually see it. And until you've been a walking paintbrush meme throughout your high school, then like I don't want to hear it because it built a lot of character and it helped shape me into who I am today. Um anyways, let's see what else. Where are we at time wise? I think we have like 5 more minutes left or something. This episode has been all over the place. And that's okay. I was gonna show. What was I gonna show? Ooh, should we close this episode out seeing how far we can go in Trivia Crack? I just re-downloaded this game because I forgot how good I am at it and how fun it is. Um, like this used to be a top tier game. I'm not gonna lie. Like just sitting in class, just absolutely shredding Trivia Crack back and forth with your buddies was top tier moment. Um, I still can't believe I got the Wordle right on the last try. Crazy. I'm like that though. Okay, let's try. We'll close this out with a Trivia Crack kind of thing because why not? It's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want. Um, Trivia-thon. We're just gonna see how far we can go. Question 1. What is the date of the deadliest terrorist attack on U.S. soil? Son of a bitch. Okay, so this is either 9/11 or the Pearl Harbor, which I don't think I see Pearl Harbor unless Pearl Harbor was April 15th, 1912. I keep running out of time. This is not real. These are timed. Okay. Oh man, these are timed. And I just wasted all my time. We have to restart this. Okay, here we go. We're going to try this again. And we're going to try to remember that this is timed. 20 seconds. Where's Japan? That's East Asia. Bang. This is going to be a speed thing here. Who couldn't be put together after falling off the wall? Humpty Dumpty. What is another name for blimp? Airship. What state does NY stand for? Dude, these guys are making it too easy. LHR is the abbreviation for which airport? Oof. LHR. London Gatwick or London Heathrow? We'll do London Heathrow. I'm good. I'm like that. And then we have an ad. That's the best feeling is when you take a guess at something on a test, not knowing a single thing about the question, and somehow you just kill it. That's what just happened right there. You guys are witnessing greatness, and now we're witnessing an ad. Okay. Who made the first animated film? Looney Tunes, Disney, Pixar, or George Bush? Well, I'm going to tell you right now it's not George Bush. I want to say Looney Tunes because like I feel like cartoons, but also Pixar. Looney Tunes. It was Disney. And we just lost. All right. Well, that I mean, yeah, we're just gonna wrap it up there because I was just mad talking shit about how good I am at trivia, and I just lost on like the fourth question. Horrible, 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 horrible. Anyways, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this week, guys. Thanks for sticking around for yet again another week of me, myself, and Mike. Let me know what you guys think of this this multiple view thing now. I gotta figure out how to edit all of this and make it look better. But I think this could be the new layout of, I have you here, and then, just when you think I'm here, I'm also here. You know what I mean? Like, I can be here, but I'm also there. You know what I mean? And like I said, we could have another one rolling somewhere in this corner, and then you'll have me here, back here, and then over there. It's all a work in progress, and we're making do with what we can. But one small improvement every week, soon enough, will be taken off for the races here. But again, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, congratulations, and you should probably go find something a bit more productive to do because you just sat through an hour of non-productivity. So go find yourself something to do this week. As always, hope you guys have a miserable week. Happy Monday. And this has been episode 7 of Me, Myself, and Mike, on track for 1 million episodes. As unreal as you get. I'm having a stroke. I gotta go right now. That was not okay. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.